Why pay $90 for a game when you can pay 75 cents instead? As we're about to discover, the answer is because a 75-cent game is most likely a piece of utter garbage. Still, in a world where you can pay almost $80 for Gollum, why not take a punt on the cheapest of the cheap? Here we have it. I bought 8 of the lowest priced games on Steam, and we're going to find out if anything in the absolute gutters of the store's price range is worth playing.
Let the games begin.
For a bit of fun, we'll spin the wheel to see what we've got, and first up, it is 3 coins at school. It's safe to say we're opening with the most thrilling game of the collection. Yeah, this game is about as boring as it gets. Even the kids don't want to be here. 3 coins seems to more commonly be called penny football, and it's a game where you try to flick coins into the other person's goal, which is their hands with a single finger as a goalkeeper. Perhaps this is a game that would be fun if you were, say, in an actual school, also chatting with your mate as you play instead of doing your maths assignment. But when it's a slow-moving, looking pointless game of 3 coins against a bot, it's impossible to not want to close the game and go do anything else. Also, it's worth noting the game is usually $7.50 and I was only able to pick it up for 75 cents because it's 90% off during the Steam summer sale. $7.50 for this? For 3 coins at school?
What a sick joke!
Alright, let's hope we get something a bit less grim. Need for Drive. Copyright Law Evasion 100. What we've got here is a Need for Speed ripoff that looks and feels more like a mobile game than a PC game. We've got an open world filled with nothing. There's buildings to make it look like someone bothered making a game world, but the more you drive around, the more you realize the buildings are completely separate on the other side of the impassable curb. There's the occasional police car, and keen to start an exciting Need for Speed style police chase, I crashed into it. Nothing happened. The police cars do nothing. They're only here because there's police cars in Need for Speed. In this barren, empty world, we can do races. The car itself controls fine, I guess. It doesn't feel good to drive, but my bar is so low at this point that the fact that I'm capable of making it go where I want without wishing I was dead is good enough for me. The game has some serious performance and stuttering issues. Personally, I would have been fine without every inch of the road being covered in reflective puddles if it meant the game could run smoothly, but I guess the devs and I have different priorities. Alright, come on, we need something to lift the mood. Blood and Bacon. As requested, Blood and Bacon definitely lifted the mood. Hooray! The game is pretty straightforward. Each day you talk to this guy.
Hey, you know, that's really starting to get annoying.
Shoot the f*** out of whatever variety of pig enemies is waiting for you, leaving the farm in a state of bloody mess, before returning to this guy to load the next day. The gunplay and gore is stupid, over the top, and functional, and the game's dialogue and writing has a good self-aware charm to it that reminds me of The Town with No Name.
Ha ha ha, yeah, I get it. Shoot the farmer in the face.
It knows it's a 75-cent game, so it doesn't try to be deceitful and pretend it's something else. It owns the fact that it's just a bit of silly fun, probably made by one person on their at-home computer, and I respect that. Yeah, the gameplay gets repetitive. Yeah, it objectively looks pretty but it's not aiming for greatness.
It's just a bit of fun.
Up next, we've got Soccer Online Ball 3D. Ball 3D. Who names these things? Ball 3D is a Rocket League style soccer game where you play as a puck trying to get the ball into your team's offensive goal. It's actually not horribly made, it looks nice enough, the controls function, and the ball physics are okay. That said, there are 3 major problems that rob Ball 3D of any reason to pay 75 cents. The first is that, as you can see, the gameplay is some slow and tedious There's just no potential for speed in the game when this is as fast as the puck can move. The second problem is that the gameplay you're seeing right now is in offline mode against bots. When I tried to find an online opponent, I couldn't. There were no occupied lobbies to join, and I waited a while inside an empty lobby before eventually giving up. The third problem, which probably explains why there are 0 players active in Ball 3D, is that Rocket League exists and it's free. Who the f is going to pay any amount of money for this when they can just go play Rocket League for free? I ask that question, but I guess the answer's me. Seems I would pay money for Ball 3D. Wonder what we've got next. Logistics Simulator. If that title doesn't scream fun, I don't know what does. Welcome back to the Thrill Zone, featuring 3 coins at school, being stuck in traffic, and now Logistics Simulator. This is a game where we set up our own logistics company on this grey block of concrete. It looks hideous, the sound is grating with a single repetitive piece of music looping the entire time. The actual simulation of the logistics has very limited options and is quite simply boring as f***. We can walk around and slap random people in the face, which kills them instantly. We can use the toilet, which means just sitting on top of the closed lid. We can customize our character, who must be a vampire because he doesn't appear in the mirror.
What's the f***ing point?
Now, I can see a world where a polished, intricate, complex logistics simulator could actually be a bit of therapeutic fun, but this just isn't it. What treat is in store next? Dirt Bike Racer Simulator. These games really need to think of a title that isn't just the thing you do followed by simulator. Because in no way is this piece of utter f***ing garbage a simulator of dirt bike racing. Where to begin with this crap? How about the fact that you cannot crash? It's impossible to fall off the bike. No matter what you'll do, you'll just keep spinning about, somehow landing on your wheels. The controls are as horrible as I'm sure you can tell watching the game. The camera is abysmal because you can't change its vertical angle. So when you're going downhill, that's fine, but when you're trying to go uphill, you can't see what's ahead of you because the camera is angled down. And the game's sound? That doesn't even sound like a dirt bike. It sounds like a dude doing an impression of a dirt bike.
What the f***?
For some reason, there's a shark, but when you go into the water, the game just respawns from the starting point. Here I was, thinking something interesting was going to happen. Well, it's impossible to get much worse. The Hunt in the Forest. Alright. The Hunt in the Forest manages to deliver precisely on its name without being remotely enjoyable in any way whatsoever. Here's how it goes. You'll be given an objective such as hunt 2 wolves by sniper gun before spawning in a fixed position with a gun and some wolves. Sorry, wolves. You click on them to shoot and hooray, objective complete. You do the same thing on repeat with a wide variety of animals, from stags to ducks to rabbits, each time earning money to be able to upgrade your weapon. The hitboxes are unreliable. Every hunt there's a time limit, and it's often as low as 15 seconds, which just removes any element of soaking in the non-existent atmosphere this beautifully crafted forest has to offer. Sometimes the hunt is at night, so you have to use the game's night vision, which is, unplayable. But I guess at the end of the day, it manages to give us a hunt in the forest for 75 cents. It's not any good, but just whatever. I'm over it at this point.
I can't wait to die, honestly.
And finally, it's the only one left, so I guess it's time for The Lost Souls. In all seriousness, there isn't a more thematically appropriate way to end this journey through bargain bin hell than a shitty horror game in which you explore the depths of hell and have your soul stolen. The Lost Souls is a strange one because honestly, it's almost kinda not that bad for 75 cents, but it just manages to be so consistently lame that I can't ever take its almost effective atmosphere seriously. For example, the moody text throughout the game feels like it was written by a 10-year-old trying to be scary. I would like to say a small story about how I fall in hell and lost my soul. One of the game's core mechanics are what it likes to call riddles, which just means typing in whatever it says in reverse. So instead of typing 654321, we type 123456. Or instead of typing poo nepo, we type open up. Yet not quite riddles in my books. It also features some of the lamest jump scares in the history of media. Oh wow, yeah, that's terrifying.
I've seen enough. Shut it down.
So there it is, 8 of the lowest priced games on Steam. As rough as some of these are, I wouldn't say any of them are as bad from a value perspective as Golem for $80, so I guess it could be worse. That said, watching 75 cents go down one of those coin funnel wishing wells would be infinitely more fun than the majority of these games.
I'm done! You hear me?